So the question is, do you control money or does money control you? And that may seem like a strange question because a lot of us, you may even be tempted to say, well, yeah, duh, I control money. I make money. I create services and products. I create value for other people, which in return provides me with a stream of income. I have built in my business my empire. I have worked my way up the corporate ladder. I'm valuable. I'm educated. So I control the money I make. I'm in control of that. But are you? And I'm asking this question because it is very easy for people like yourself, people like me who are high achieving people who are driven on success, who love to get the results. And in most cases, we will get the results. You know, we take a lot of pride in doing the best we can for any job that we do. However, what I found out, actually what I learned about myself, is we actually don't control money as much as we may think. And I just want to share with you why I think that. And before we get into it, I want you to understand my motivation for asking this question. It's not because I want you to pull back, really. It's not because I want you to make less money. I want you to make as much money as possible. I want to make as much money as possible. The question that I have for myself is, am I doing it for the quote-unquote right reasons? Only you can decide what is right for you, and only I can determine what is right for me. For me, developing the ideology, the principles of how I want to live my life as an elite man, as it pertains to my abundance, my finances, and my economy, I have a very clear vision as to how it is I want to make that money. And how I want to feel making that money, how I want to feel spending that money, how I want to feel sharing that money, creating with that money, giving that money. I have a very clear vision on that, and that allows me to keep on high achieving, keep pushing without feeling like I'm sacrificing, because this is where I feel that a lot of us do. You know, working with a lot of men out there, and you know, just be honest with yourself, if you happen to be this person as well, who find themselves really getting stuck on cutting themselves short on the full experience of life in their pursuit of money. And that's going to be point number one I want you to pay attention to. Are you sacrificing parts of your life for the sake of making money? Now, you may be tempted to say, well, I make the money to provide for my family and to provide for my wife, for my kids, my extended family, to make sure we have nice things, to live the lifestyle that I want to live, and to live the comforts that we want to live within. And I think that's amazing. That's noble that you are thinking about those things. The next question beyond that, though, is what else are you sacrificing to have that? In my experience, I'm going to tell you. For me, when I was on the pursuit of just the money, just achievement and accolades and professional growth and success, what was I missing out on? I tell you what, I really didn't have a quality social life because really my default answer became I'm busy, I don't have time. So when friends would call me up, I was never really available because in my mind I had to do more. And in that idea of doing more, I had this feeling that I really did recognize, but not on a deep level at that point in time, that whatever I did just wasn't enough. I could always put in more time, more hours, research more, do more back-end work, contact more clients. All of that stuff was never stopping. And all that was for the attainment of more money. I never had it clear on what actually is enough for me at this point in time. Because it's not about you stopping yourself short. It's not about you stopping where your potential is. Oh no, keep on going. Go to the moon and back, and then go even further. But what is going to be your green light for right now? For me, what did I do? Every time I got a promotion, I changed jobs, I earned more income, I immediately looked for more bills. And that may sound funny, but I looked for more services. I wanted to have a nicer car. I wanted to get a nicer apartment. I wanted to have the next new technology, the phone, the laptop. And then yet again, here I am, tight on my money again. And this tightness pushed me to want to earn more money. And that in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? Because when we make ourselves uncomfortable, we stretch ourselves. We push ourselves to greater limits. We push ourselves to greater heights. However, when it becomes unattainable, when that appetite cannot be satiated like mine was not, I lost myself. My health started to go down. I started to gain weight. I wasn't as intimate with my girlfriend. I lost my sexual creativity because why? Do you remember when I told you I was working those hours in the office and I kept pushing myself? Well, all that energy that I used in the office, when I came home, how much energy do you think I had left? Zero to none. All I wanted to do is take my clothes off and plop down and disconnect. And that just left my girlfriend at the time wanting more, sitting in my wake of exhaustion. So part of me, I felt good because, right, I pushed myself to the limit. However, what about the other part, my romantic life? That's also important to me. What about the time that I want to spend with my family, my immediate family, my father, my mother, my brothers? But I couldn't because you know what? This weekend I want to put some more hours in. Sorry guys, I can't meet you for dinner because, I just kind of put a couple more hours in at the office tonight. So at what cost? And this is why I am urging you, encouraging you to reflect on where it is that money may be controlling your life. Where may it have a grasp on you? Because even though you are very good at making it, are you good at enjoying it? Are you good at spending it? And that's going to be number 2. The second part to that is, when you make your money, do you really enjoy spending it? I mean, do you really go out? Do you just not even sometimes think about the price? Just, I want that. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to treat myself to it. This is another wake-up call I had for myself because I felt guilty spending my money. It didn't matter how much I had. As soon as the money was starting going out, I thought to myself, okay, more money needs to come in. And so this whole process, this feedback loop of guilt spending and then me getting triggered back saying, okay, I need to make more money, never really let me to enjoy it. Just to take a getaway vacation, a night stay, a staycation with my girlfriend at, a 5-star hotel. So what if it costs $500 a night? So what? I had the money to spend. But with spending that, I was making sure I maximize every single moment. I was thinking about, am I getting the value of this money? Which, again, is not necessarily a problem. But when you become obsessed with it, like I did, the quality of my life went down. Slowly went down. I found myself watching every single thing, comparing the price of everything. I became so obsessed with how the money was going out that I wanted to make more money coming in that it just wasn't allowing me to enjoy it. And this is again my question to you. When you spend it, do you spend it with guilt-free? I mean, do you feel good? I mean, take pride in what you've earned because that's an accomplishment. There's a lot of people who aren't making high levels of money or aren't able to make it or aren't able to keep it. So be proud of that. We don't want to take that away, but what we do want to do is make sure that you actually enjoy that. And the third part to this is when is enough money going to be enough? That's a tricky question, isn't it? Because part of me, I have, like a lot of us do, I have my 5-year goal, my 10-year goal, and then my someday goal. And my someday goal, my dream, my number that I would like to have for myself in my bank account, when I log in, I click open, access, and it shows me the readout, I want to see $10 million in my account. Why that number? Why not? Because with that amount of money, not necessary, but with that amount of money, I foresee myself having more options. I foresee myself living a life that I would love to live guilt-free without thinking about anything. Can I do that on 1 million? Sure I can. Can I do that on 500,000? Absolutely. Can I do that on 100,000? A lot of people do. But my number is 10 million. Now, it took me time to separate myself from that number because, again, when I set that number, what happened? Do you remember those long hours I was putting in the office? Do you remember when I was feeling that I can always do more? Because I became so obsessed with that number that nothing else mattered. And again, we want to separate the work ethic and the discipline from the sacrifice of the rest of your life. And this is what I didn't understand. I was so driven, I was so disciplined, I can put the time in over and over and over again, but it was the other parts of my life that started to fall to the wayside. Let's be honest here. For me, I don't know about you. I'm imagining if you're watching this, that just making money and just your professional success isn't going to be the only legacy you want to leave on this world. It's not mine. I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of what I did. But there's more to that. I'm not going to take my money with me in the afterlife. I don't think, at least. The Egyptians tried to do it, and as far as we know, it didn't work. For me, when it gets to the end, because my end will come, your end will come, I do not want to look back and say, I wish I spent more time being romantic with my wife. I wish I was more spontaneous. I wish I had the energy to play with my kids when they came home from school or when I came from home from the office. I wish I was more available to my friends and family to be spontaneous and have a dinner, go play a game, go surfing, go to the beach, whatever it is that I wanted to do. I wish I could have had more time to give to charity. I wish I could have traveled more and see the world. I wish I would have allowed myself to tap into my potential, my purpose, and my hobbies. I wish I would have learned how to play the saxophone. I wish I would have learned how to ballroom dance. Yes, that's a secret. Don't tell anyone. I would love to actually learn how to do the waltz. When I get to the end, I don't want to have all these I wish I could haves just because I had the money or for the pursuit of that money. At the end of the day, what good is having so much money if you're not able to take advantage of the options that money gives you? I lost sight of that. I so lost sight of that. You know, making, and not enjoying the process. And this is where I want to turn around back on your analysis of asking that question to yourself. Do you control money or does money control you? What do you think? And if you do feel like I felt, and I'll be honest with you, I want to use that word felt very loosely because there's parts of me that still is attached to money. If you feel like I felt and still do, that money may have a control on you, what can you do to start separating that control and attachment to money? And the three things I want to leave you with is, one, learn how to spend guilt-free. And when I say guilt-free, I mean whatever that may be. As soon as you feel that you are spending and the guilt comes in that, okay, I need to make more money, stop, take a deep breath, and give gratitude. I know it seems simple. I know it seems overly simplified, but I promise you, just by giving simple gratitude for the money you are spending, you are thanking yourself, you are celebrating yourself for the time, the energy, the dedication, and the value that you put out into the world to be able to have that money. So you're going to be grateful for it and leave it at that. And it may take you some time. You may not get it right the first time. I know I did. I still don't. But keep leaning into it because being able to be grateful for you, being able to pay that bill, and that's going to be another big one as well. Paying your taxes. If you're paying more taxes this year, chances are, unless the government intervened, you earn more money. Be grateful that you can actually pay that. All right? Number two, when is enough enough? You can set your someday goal. Set it big. Set it massive. Make it so big it scares you a little bit because actually if it doesn't, then you didn't set something big enough. And when you're on your process of earning your money, moving up in the promotions, getting your bonus, again, we're going to practice gratitude. I know, you don't want to hear this. You've heard this before, but I promise you, this is one of the single most things that has benefited and helped me along my path of separating my dependency on money, of getting the control of money off of me, is being grateful for what I have right now. I'm still on that target for that someday goal. My 10 million in my bank account, that's going to happen someday. The difference is now is along the way of where I am, I'm grateful for where I am right now. And I understand that right now, what I have is absolutely enough. What's going to make me feel that enough is enough for right now is stop trying to max out what I have available. Stop trying to spend all of it right now. This was a big thing for me. And that doesn't mean, again, hold yourself back from adding services or adding things that are going to make your life easier, especially if these tools that you are going to add are going to buy you more time that will allow you to be more productive and spend more time with your wife, your kids, your family, your friends, do your hobby, take care of yourself, right? So in that process, be grateful for what you have right now. And the last part is what are you missing out on? How can you get some of that time back? Now, this is going to be a bit tricky. Okay? Because again, if you're anything like me, I started to put so little value on free time, on play, on enjoyment, right? Not that I lived a completely ice cold life. Not that I was a hermit and I never did anything. I just was limiting myself more because I had to be disciplined. And that discipline did work for me, and it still does work for me. However, I am much more intentional to set, for example, 10 hours a week to be spontaneous, to have fun. So if you stretch that out along your 7-day week, you're talking about less than 2 hours a day. That's really not a lot of time. You can end this, we're understanding that that part of that 2 hours that we get every single day, if we choose to, is that presence to be the husband that our wife wants us to be, and really what you want to be. I know I have a very clear image of the husband I want to be. I'm not a father yet, but I have a very clear image of the father I want to be. I don't want to be that father who is saying, I'm providing for the kids, I do this for my kids, but I show them a man who's working his ass off, who's not attentive to them, who attempts to buy their love with gifts. A father who just kind of passes by them. He's not patient with his kids. I do not want to be that father. And I understand to the best of my ability that right now, unless I create those habits now, that I could potentially be that father. Now, if you already are a father right now, can you look your kids in the eye? Can you look at them right now? When they're sleeping, just gaze over their sleeping bodies and feel and feel into, do your kids want more money or do they want more you? And before you go to one extreme and say, okay, well, Brian, yes, they may want more me, but I'm sure more than they want me, they don't want to live in the streets. Okay, don't go there. We don't have to go to the extremes because this is a this and that statement. Another thing that we've been tricked on is the this or that. We either make money or we're a great father. We either make money or we're a good husband. We either make money or we take care of our health. What I'm suggesting is the and statement, that all of those things are true. But until we break down the control that money has over us, the really dependency that we have over money, of how money we think makes us feel, how we think that buying these things will make us into a better person. And they may aid us in that, but it's not the end all be all. And so these are 3 very basic questions, and I encourage you to ask even more questions to understand, are you in control of money or is money in control of you? And so those questions, again, do I enjoy spending my money? Number 1. Number 2, what am I missing out on in the pursuit of money? Now, number 3, how much money is enough? And by asking those 3 questions, those 3 basic questions, you can get a really good idea and be honest with yourself if, in fact, you are in control of money or is money in control of you. If you find yourself that actually money has had the hold on you, has been in control of you, don't feel bad about it. Now understand that, take that gift, that awareness as the opportunity to start making tweaks. And this will not be an overnight process because, again, if you're anything like me, I've had this idea for even most of my adult life, even from the time I started to even think about money, probably from the early ages of being a teenager, when I started thinking about working and earning money, of always making it about the money, to buy candy, to buy toys, things of that nature, right? I never really took the time to analyze that. And so this is what's going to help you go forward to enjoy the full experience of life, the full spectrum of who you are as a man, because you earning and you making money, you being a provider, is only a part of who you are, a part of who you're meant to be, a part of what the world needs, of what your kids need, of what your wife needs, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your father, your mother. So as soon as we get that clear, as soon as we understand that, we can start taking different steps, taking different actions, creating different habits for ourselves. And with that said, I want to encourage you to go ahead and like this video, share this video with another man out there who you know is a hard worker. You know someone out there who really puts the time in and day out. But you also know that he's actually not giving his fullest self to the rest of the world. And again, this is not to make him feel guilty. Hopefully you don't feel guilty. I know I don't. I feel empowered. I feel as if I have more control, not over money, but over my life, to live and be the elite man in every single area, not just in business. Not just in my professional world, but in my spiritual world, in my physical health and fitness, with my love, my relationships, my discipline. There's all these other areas that I know I want to be the best in. For me, the best version of me. I don't care about anybody else. That's old news. And for you, by you sharing that video, by you putting your comments, share your answers in here. It's so great to see how other men have had their breakthroughs, to see what has come up for other men out there. And so share your comments in there. Subscribe to the channel as well, because I'll be putting out more videos as it pertains to money, our professional lives, where we tend to get our worth, where we tend to seek validation, and how that also, seeking a validation, can really stop us from being explosive. I mean, really hinders, really burn us out from really being a man who's going to enjoy the full experience. So on that, men, elite men, until next time.